You see this as a great opportunity, I imagine, Chris, playing a team around your mark on the ladder?
Yeah, it's a fantastic opportunity, and that's how we embrace it. I mean, they've got an exceptional record at that oval this year. I think their average winning margin is 74 points. So on the surface, that seems like a daunting task, but in terms of what we want to do as a footy team, we've got to face up to these challenges and embrace them, and that's what we'll do.
Folks, when you sort of at the start of the season, when you were planning for the year, did you think that you'd be playing for top four spot this late season already?
Oh no, probably not. I guess I hoped that we'd be playing for a spot in the finals, which in effect we are really. That's what you hope for and you aspire to. So right now that's happening, and it's just great to be in that position that we're in the frame.
I think this gives you a good gauge of sort of where you sit in the competition at the moment, playing at the team of this calibre.
Possibly. It's hard to answer that because sometimes you can sort of overemphasise games in a sense. Like all it will tell us is how we compare to GWS right here and now in a sense, because how form can be in 5 weeks' time, 8 weeks' time can be completely different. But we're only on 1 week at a time side, so it's just a great opportunity to play a side in the top four. We've done well against teams in the top 8 so far this year. I think Collingwood's the only team that's beaten us, so here's another great opportunity, and the best part about that opportunity is it's at their home ground, so that makes it even harder.
Now Oscar, he's been generally a bit of a mainstay the last sort of year and a half.
Yeah, he has.
How much of a loss is he?
It's hard to assess. I mean, we've got Archie Smith as well, who's been performing really well in the NEFL along with Steph Martin, so there's an adequate replacement there for Oscar. Archie was in the team a few weeks back and did pretty well, so we'll just see how that rolls out. But obviously Oscar's been a good player for us in the ruck and up forward and in those long down the line plays, so whoever takes his place will need to fulfil that role.
So is Archie getting a goal?
Oh, we haven't finalised selection yet. We'll look at the weather and the conditions and all those sorts of things and make that decision later in the day.
You picked Marcus as well into your squad. How likely will he play, or how positive?
Well, again, we've got a finalised selection this afternoon. He's a player that we recruited here. We thought he could be in our best 22. He's had a couple of games in the NEFL. He's performed fairly strongly, although albeit a little bit difficult to assess form because he's been playing down back in games where the team's won by a lot. But his training form is very good, and he's in the frame for selection for sure.
GWS obviously stinging a little bit after they lost last weekend. Is it a good time to go?
Probably not after a loss, because they did generally react pretty well. I don't think they've lost 2 games in a row at all this year, so they'll be smarting from that defeat. They're a proud club, and we're expecting nothing but their very best.
So what's the key with that, the very best, mate? What's the key for you to make sure you get them?
The key always when you play against Greater Western Sydney is they're probably the best contested ball side going around. We faced a team last week in Melbourne who were very, very good at that, but GWS are probably next level. We passed last week's test, so it's another brilliant opportunity to see just how we're going in that facet of our game, because if you want to be a team that can compete and play well in finals, then that's the key area. You've got to win the ball at the source and then play your way.
Just on last week as well, first quarter, there was a lot of behinds kicked, mate, not too many goals. Did you do some goal kicking during the week, or is it just a continuous thing they're doing?
We do goal kicking every week, mate, so some weeks you kick them straight and some weeks you don't. It depends whether they're set shots or snaps. I think there was a lot of snaps early in the game last week. It's more of a concern when you're missing ones from 20 metres out dead in front, which I think we might have missed a couple of those, but by and large some of the shots we missed were harder ones.
What challenge does the Giants forward line pose that maybe other teams don't?
They've got good diversity there, and their big tools are mobile, so they can play at ground level in the air. So they've kicked a lot of goals between them this year. Then you add guys like Toby Green and Caniglio and those fellas that spend a bit of time up forward. They're just very talented, and they can, as I said, they compete in the air and on the ground.
Has that been a bit of a, not headache, it's probably too strong a word, but how much time have you had to put into that part of the ground, considering the diversity and, like you say, the mobility?
Oh yeah, no more or no less than any other game that you play. I mean, most teams have their strengths and weaknesses. They just have 3 tall guys that kick a lot of goals. So, we'll be relying on our usual fellas to get the job done.